Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1265. 1265. Happy Tuesday. Back to work for many of you. It was back to work for me yesterday. It was a very laboring Labor Day, but I was very productive. So I was very unproductive on Sunday, but very productive yesterday. Shipping, listing, sorting, the trifecta, and I did a little yard work as well. I I threw some seed down. I've got a lot of bald spots in my yard, especially where it was dug up last year during construction. So I laid some more seed down yesterday. So I did some of that. Checked my garden. Here we are, Labor Day weekend, and I was still picking veggies out of my garden. So this has been a strange gardening year for me. In the past, and I planted a week early this year, which is strange. I did more pruning than I have ever done. Maybe that had something to do with it. My garden didn't produce like previous years, but it's had stamina, which has actually been kind of good. It's not like I'm picking 75 tomatoes at the same time and then all of a sudden, oh, that's your tomato yield for the year. It's actually been productive throughout the summer, starting in mid July, actually early July. My fruits actually started producing in early July. The first cucumbers were coming on uh, before we left for Switzerland, which was like July. We left July 1st, so like late June. And there, like, I've got a couple cucumbers and a couple tomatoes I can pick today, September 3rd. So this is the longest producing that I've ever had. So maybe it has produced the same amount. It's just staggered, so it's an illusion. My watermelon is actually one of my garden beds is fruit, which was a disaster. The rabbits got into that, so next year I'm gonna do some things differently next year. One of which put some rabbit fences up because they tore apart. I didn't get any celery. I had 6 celery plants. The rabbits got all of those. And actually, they didn't do very well. Even the rabbits didn't mess with the celery that much. They had 2 heads of lettuce. I didn't. The rabbits did. I was able to get some peas before the rabbits, but not many. So I'm going to do some things differently next year. But my watermelons, the rabbits got to those in the spring when I first planted. But they rebounded. My I think I did muskmelon, some type of melon. That did not rebound. My strawberries didn't come about, but my watermelon is rebounding nicely. So maybe I'll get some watermelon. I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll probably have our first freeze in like a month, maybe 6 weeks. I think it's early to mid-October usually. So maybe here in the next couple weeks I'll get some little. They're mini water. They're not like giant watermelons. They're just regular watermelon or small watermelons. Small. No, that doesn't work. Small watermelons. So it's been interesting in my garden this year. So usually in the past, usually Labor Day weekend was when I was tearing out my garden, and here I am. I'm still fruiting in my garden, which I guess is a good thing. So speaking of, I had a nice sized cucumber, and it just happened to I happened to have um, one of those Facebook targeted ads come across about cucumber recipes, cucumber salad recipes. So there were a couple I didn't have. One of them was like smoked salmon. Didn't have any smoked salmon. Usually we do, we don't. But there was another one that I thought, hey, this looks pretty good. And so I did chopped up cucumber, like just regular cucumber slices. peanut butter, sesame oil, soy sauce, and a clove of garlic. Just do a little mix. It turned out okay. I think what I need to do, and I told my wife this, and she suggested, I'm like, I think I need to marinate. Like put everything in a bag and let it marinate. She's like, well, you want to be careful because of all the salt in the oils, and that'll break down the cucumber. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't see. This is why I failed chemistry. I didn't think of that. But I think if like maybe 30 minutes is a short enough period where the salt doesn't break down the cucumber, maybe that would work. So I'll try it again. I've got more cucumbers. I've got another cucumber upstairs. I've got more in the garden. So maybe I'll try that because I think it has potential. I think this recipe has potential. And I do want to try the smoked salmon cucumber salad as well. I'm always trying because you get so many cucumbers, and I'm like, I didn't get enough bigger yields to pickle a lot. I did make 3 batches of pickles this summer. I did a bread and butter early on. That was like my practice round. I did a garlic. I did a dill without garlic, and then I did a garlic dill, and those turned out pretty good. So that's my gardening minute on Hobby Evolution. So yeah, it was a productive Monday, very productive Monday. The Cubs did not have a productive Monday. The bullpen went back to like June. The bullpen woes of May and June struck back, and Jorge Lopez, Mark's old guy, he was a Met, right? Jorge Lopez. He's actually done really well with the Cubs until last night, and the Cubs lose. Their playoff percentages had gone up to like 6.9% after the win on Sunday. And after last night's loss, the playoff percentage is back down to like 3.8%. And Justin Steele is getting skipped in the rotation. And we go back to Kyle Hendricks, who has been very bad as a starting pitcher this season. So, and the Pirates are throwing Paul Skeens, although I think Kyle Hendricks and Paul Skeens faced each other last week, and that was the 14-10 come from behind win. So I did share in my Cubs chat, I did share like, all right, like I know we've got this momentum, but here's the reality, because sometimes it's hard to really grasp, like, especially in a playoff run, like we've won 12 in a row, but yet you're still 3 behind, and you've got 2 teams to beat who hold the tiebreaker, and it's a lot to overcome. But it has been fun playing meaningful baseball on Labor Day weekend. So it has been fun, but the chances are very slim that the Cubs continue the run and make the playoffs. Hopefully we can tear off some more wins and be competitive for the month of September, but it's going to be tough. The Yankees and Dodgers still on the schedule. I think like on paper, the Cubs have like the easiest schedule among playoff contending teams. But they still have a series against the Dodgers and a series against the Yankees. Too bad they're not in the AL Central. They could play the White Sox. I just saw a stat on Twitter. Can you believe this? If it's still up. Yeah. Okay. It's from a guy that I don't know. But it sounds like it could be correct. Grant Brisbee. Let me see. Grant Brisbee. He's got 59,000 followers, so he must be legit. He says the AL Central, the American League Central, 38 games under 500. The division is 38 games under 500. But 4 of them are over 500. Thank you to the White Sox pulling down the American League Central. The White Sox lost their 108th game yesterday. They're like, what, 31-108? So the The dubious record of losses in a season is what, 120? And the White Sox are on their way to setting that record. You might as well. Like, I would be disappointed. Even if I was a White Sox fan, I would be disappointed. Like, if you're going to suck, like, be the all-time suckiest. Like, don't just be average suck. Like, that sucks. It's a lot of sucking, I just said. But you want to be the worst. Just be the worst of the worst. Be the best. You want to be the best at something. Sometimes that's being bad. So you want the White Sox to be the best at being bad. So Mark's 1962 Mets record is going to get destroyed. 31-108. So that's what, 31, 40, 39, 49, 59. There's still 23 games. Is my math correct? I don't have enough fingers to count that high. 23 games. And they only need 12 to tie, 13 to beat. And I think they're going to crush Mark's Mets' dubious losing record of 1962. So I had a very productive day yesterday. I did list the rest of my Score a Treat football cards. A few of those have sold. Most of them are 99 cents free shipping. So if you're into team collecting or even player collect, the rookies, I think I've got most of those for $1.75. Some of the bigger names are $2 or $2.50. I think the Jaden Daniels sold. I think I sold one other rookie. The Josh Allen sold. The Brock Purdy sold. And a few commons sold for 99 cents. I listed some Bo Jacksons, man. Bo Jacksons flew. And this was part of the lot that I bought on eBay. How many, let's see, all orders. Let's see how many of the Bo Jacksons sold. Like, boom, right off the bat. Bo Jackson sold. I paid like $20 bucks, I think, shipped for these Bo Jackson cards, 100 of them, included 2 of the 87 tops. Bo Jackson. Oh, we got a yawn coming. All right, we want date sold, all right. So let's see. I sold 91 Upper Deck. So 175, 350, 455, 55, 25, 6, 7, 875, 975, 1075, 1050. So 1050 in sales just like immediately after I listed them. So not bad. And I think one of those buyers, I think it was 3 different buyers, but 2 bought just 1 card. Then one guy bought 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. So there you go. Bo Jackson selling. So that was, I think that was a good buy. And I haven't even listed. I think I only listed like 40. I'm going to do a football batch maybe later today. Let's go to, it was a productive day. I had a little Beau-Mentum behind me. Check out my eBay store, by the way. Check out that Beau-Mentum, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. That's for buy it now items only. There are auctions that end tonight. I'll go live again in 12 hours at 7 p.m. Central. And we'll count down this week's weekly auctions, non-sports and other sports. We'll circle back and I'll share. We'll see what the bidding is at with about 12 hours to go for the first item. 7:15 Central tonight is when the first item, final horn drops, final hammer drops. Baseball. So I know many of you are baseball collectors. I've got some fun baseball auctions coming tonight. So those will be starting at 7:15. So they'll begin as some of these auctions are ending. So make sure to tune in tonight to this channel and to the eBay store, 99centcards.com, and see what's going up for 99-cent auctions this week. And the theme is baseball. We've got Kevin Hawthorne in the house. Good morning. What's up, Lakeland, Florida? Peter's in the house. He says, nice thumbnail, little Beau-Mentum today. Brian, good morning. Gem City Card Show coming up in Quincy. Stuke, what's going on? Good morning. David's in the house. Keep the Beau-Mentum going. Yes. And that's what we're going to dive into today. And you don't have to use the term Beau-Mentum. I just kind of ripped that. I shouldn't say I ripped Beau-Mentum off of Bo Dallas from WWE, because Bo Dallas had this character probably 10 years ago where he used like Bo whatever. I don't know. There was like 7 different things he would say. But if your name is Bo, like it's just kind of when you, especially if you're from a small town, you have nicknames. So my neighbor, Dick Wankett, that's his real name. Actually, his birth name's Richard, but he goes by Dick. Of course, if your last name's Wankett, you got to go by Dick. So Dick Wankett would always say, it's true. Look it up. You can Google it. Anawan, Illinois. So Dick would always say, he would say, bullshit, play on bullshit, and what would he say? You don't know bullshit, or you don't know bullshit, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. T206 kid, I harvested my sunflowers the other day. Gonna roast them together. Very nice. My neighbor has some sunflowers, and I don't think they harvest them. They just, in fact, I think they got chopped down. They had their landscapers yesterday or this weekend tending to the flower. They have a nice flower garden, big old sunflowers, but the sunflower season must be over because they were looking pretty dead. So maybe the landscapers harvested them. Flawed thinkers in the house. Good morning. George is here. What's happening? Sports card ripping teacher. What's up? Vince in the house. I feel a second channel on the horizon. Bo the gardener. I don't know if you'd want to listen to me talk about gardening, especially looking at my garden this year. Didn't produce. Didn't have that Beau-Mentum behind it this year. Flawed Thinker said, had a good amount of stale inventory, so put a good chunk at auction. Went for less than what I wanted, but at least I got something and I moved it. About 50 packages going out today. Not bad for me. Congrats. That's good. That is how I used to view auctions. Like everything went for less than I wanted. But then I just kind of changed my mindset behind auctions. And I still think in many regards, auctions do suck as a seller. But sometimes you just have to realize, okay, your stuff's overpriced. If it's not selling, it's overpriced. Or people don't want it. Sometimes it's not overpriced. People just don't want it. So, and I think that's where some of the momentum is coming from. I'll stop using the term Beau-Mentum. I think that's where some of my momentum is coming from, is just finally realizing it's taken a while. Like, stale inventory is if it's been in my eBay store for 3 years and I've got it listed for $20, it's probably overpriced. And maybe it's only worth $3, or maybe it's worth 10 or 12. And so sometimes offers will come in. And what did I have an offer? The Justin Verlander, which the SGC 10 blue refractor, second year Justin Verlander, was going to be a part of this week's auctions, but I did accept an offer this morning. Now, there's like no comps to go off of. There were some, like, I think some SGC 9s. I can't remember what the comp situation was, but a couple sales were auctions, and I'm like, that's not. And I think they were like maybe SGC 9.5s, same card. And I listed mine at 300, and I'm like, I'm just going to fish for offers. I knew it wasn't worth 300. People weren't going to pay 300 for it, but I'm going to see what offers come in. And I only got a couple offers, and I think the best offer was like maybe $80. So I dropped the price to 200 after a week, maybe 2 weeks. I literally have like less than a dime into this card. I wasn't charged for my group subber did not charge me for the grade. It was kind of a trade out for marketing, like, hey, show this off, share this. So it was basically I paid 8 cents. All right, 8 cents. This was part of it came in the estate sale with all the vintage. So you think, well, don't be greedy. Take that $80. But it's like, no, I'll let it sit. I don't need the $80. I can let it work, and it's gonna work. The $80 is gonna work better than the card sitting on a shelf, but it's only been a couple of weeks. So I dropped the price to 200 again. Maybe 2 weeks went by. Last week I dropped it to 150. And I was going to put it on auction this week. So, but it sold, and it probably would have sold for less than what I accept. I accepted a $120 offer this morning. So I don't think it's been paid for yet, but we'll see. So, I think sometimes it's just like we have to realize, all right, if it's not moving, people don't want it. And sometimes the reason people don't want it is because of the price. That's usually the main driver of why your items aren't selling. And I think I'm very stubborn. We've done 1,265 episodes here, and it only takes a couple to realize how stubborn I actually am. So sometimes I have to just swallow that stubbornness and realize, all right, do things differently if you want to succeed. And I think that's part of auctions and why I've started these weekly auctions. I think it is driving new traffic to my eBay store. But again, it's also what I am listing. Yes, the price is right, 99 cent starting bids. But if I'm listing a bunch of 1990 score Bo Jackson, 89 Pro Set Bo Jackson, it's probably not going to bring much traffic to my eBay store. But if I'm listing SGC 10 Verlander or Aaron Rodgers rookies or Norman Rockwell relics, SI for kid lot, that's going to sell for less than I want tonight. It ends tonight. The bidding is currently at like $26. I think I ended up dropping the price. That was another one. I just kept dropping the price. Well, it's priced too high. People want it. Like, there's a lot of views. I've had a few offers, but I'm overpriced. So we'll send it to auction. All of these SI for Kids cards were part of Goodwill pallets. It's like, let's just cash out, and it's going to go for less. Even maybe it gets a few more bids. It's going to sell for less. It's probably going to sell for less than what I want. So, but again, it is what it is. It is what it is. And it's kind of like setting up at a card show. And, I think many of us that set up at card shows, we have a set number in mind. And usually that's it's more than what should be the number. And even when I do set a lower number, when I break, it's like, well, now I should make more. And it's almost like it's almost like a moving target. It's like I set out, like, I think I'll make $300 today. And I end up making 500. It's like, well, man, if I just, my regular customers were, I'm making all these excuses. It's like, wait, I almost doubled what my expectations were. I need to realize, but I think that's just part of how our sales minds work. So I still, in many instances, like this Bo Jackson lot, like this lot sold at auction for $20. I was the winning bidder, and I've already turned 6 cards into almost $12, $10-12, and still have a decent amount that should move and eventually will move. But I think I will put a lot. I've said that I am anti-lot auctions. I've got the SI for Kids lot. There's going to be an Ohtani lot. I have pulled, I think, 80 Ohtani cards. There's a lot of duplicates. But I think I'm going to throw an Ohtani lot. He's coming up on being the first ever 50-50 man in Major League Baseball. I think he's at 46 and 44. He's at something crazy. I know he hit 44-44. I think he had 2 steals yesterday. So I think he's at 44 home runs, 46 stolen bases. Somebody could correct me, but he's getting close. And, we still have a month of baseball left. He could very well be the first 50-50 man in baseball. So I'm going to throw a lot of just like basically every Ohtani card that I have left. I did put a 25 different card lot of Ohtani up yesterday for $40, and it boom, sold right away. Those are the types of things, you need to realize kind of you don't have to keep your pulse on every prospect in the minor leagues, everything. But obviously, with a season Ohtani is having, Judge is having a great season, that stuff is more liquid. If you have it sitting around, find it, list it, sell it, repeat. That's where a lot of the momentum is coming from. George says you need to put some MSG in it. It's salt on crack. Mark, good morning. Cautiously enjoying my Mets run towards the wild card. I do, if the Cubs can't, well, the Cubs aren't going to get it. The Mets are ahead of the Cubs, and then the Mets are ahead of the Cubs, and then the Braves are ahead of the Mets. But the Diamondbacks lost again, so it's almost like the Mets and Cubs are making this run towards the wild card. And here lately, within the last few days, the Braves, Padres, Diamondbacks, I think, are the three wild card holders currently. They've kind of been sliding a little bit. I wish they would have been sliding a few weeks ago, so it would have made this Cubs run and the Mets run too, I guess, a little better, a little closer, make it a tighter race. I mean, it's a tight race, but again, look at the numbers, and it's not as tight as we would like. Mark says, oh yeah, Jorge, glove flipper Lopez was a complete douche. He's actually, from what I've heard, is a really, really good dude, from what I've heard. So I think he just got a bad rap. And sometimes, it was one event. Like, are you going to judge Jorge Lopez? And I don't know. Maybe there were other things that Jorge Lopez did, I don't know, that make you think he was a complete douche. But if you're only judging him on that one emotional reaction, I mean, I think that's unfair. I don't know. Maybe other things happened with Lopez in New York, but also New York. That's a tough place to play. I'd be a complete douche if I had to play in New York. Like, fuck this place. Brian says it's a long shot anyways. Glad to pay attention to baseball in September. Amen. It has been fun, especially, winning 8 out of 9 games on the road. And then when you lose one, it's like, it's baseball. You're going to lose a game eventually. It's like, oh, that sucked. We'll get him again today. Victor, good morning. Mark says 31-108. Looks like my Mets 1962 record is going to be destroyed. Brian says, be the Dyson vacuum of the record booms. Suck. Absolutely. Suck the best. Mikey, good morning. Scott says there's no yawning. There's no yawning in Hobby Evolution. Zach says, I bought some of your Beau cards and now you rub your profit in my face. I put up with this. Did you buy some of my Beau cards? Was that just this morning? I don't think you bought my Beau cards. I do not have, at least I don't have an alert yet. Mark says, Yankees aren't the Yankees this season. Mets swept them and the Redbirds took 2 out of 3 and put up 2 touchdowns this past Sunday. Scott says, so says the West Coast. Carrie's in the house. Good morning. Sox have to play nearly 500 ball the rest of the way to avoid the record. Current winning percent 223. Ouch. Oof. Mikey says, I've been trying to put together the 1975 Topps football set of Hall of Fame and rookies. Very cool. Hey, speaking of sets, at the last Madison Card Show, I went and I picked up some commons. I was building the 74 and I wasn't attempting to build the 77 set, but did I sell the 7? Did I list the 77 set? I've got to look to see. It was 79 and maybe I did sell the 77s. But anyway, the 74 was, I still have the partial set listed in my eBay store. It's kind of high price. Like I don't expect it to sell. I should probably take it down. Especially because I bought like the rookies. I picked up the Nolan Ryan. I got that in the mail the other day. and I went on a buying spree. I went through, and that was another thing that I did yesterday was I was going through and pulling some of the cards that were listed in my eBay store that I did not have as part of my set. So I pulled some of those cards out. And then I did buy, there were some random cards that I needed. I needed like Mickey Lolich. I needed. What else did I need? Mostly stars that I needed. One of the Hank Aaron one of the Hank Aaron home run cards, card number 3. So I bought that. What else did I buy? Jim Palmer, I think Willie Stargell. So I went on a little buying spree last night. I want to complete the 74 set, and then I will put it on eBay as a complete set sale. Philly Joe's in the house. Good morning. Mikey says, last night I bought a 1972 Topps Roger Staubach rookie PSA 4. Nice. Red Light, good morning. Mikey's trying to get the 1975 Topps football on PSA or SGC 8 only. Interesting. Very nice. Serious question for Zach, from Zach. Did you price the Pearsall card higher because he got shot? This is a place for honesty. Yes, I did. He's in the news. It's a rookie card. It would have been priced higher anyway, but he's been in the news. He didn't die, so I feel like it's okay. It's one of those news stories. So yeah, Ricky Pearsall is priced the same as Marvin Harrison Jr. And yes, it's because he was shot. So that's my honest answer. Bob, what's going on? Good morning. First day of school for the kids. Quiet house once again. Yes. It's kind of strange because like it seems like most people like in the chat, like school began in like mid-August. And where I grew up, we always started in mid-August. And here we are like 2-3 weeks later in Madison is starting school. Tina's here. What's up? Good morning. Had a nice card show over the weekend in Shipshewana. Very cool. Very cool. Johnny M, good morning. That would be the third channel. Don't forget Bow Nose Fishing. That's right. That's right. How many times did I fish this year? Unfortunately, I fished more than I rode my e-bike this summer. I think I rode my e-bike twice this summer. And I fished 3 times, I think. And the treadmill still hasn't been used this year. Mikey says, I love the design of the 1975 Topps football, especially the images. What do you think about it? So I do like it. But I think the reason I like it is much like I like baseball sets. I like the 70s football designs because there are far less made compared to baseball. 75 baseball, pretty iconic. There's a lot out there. 75 football, not so much. It's not rare, but it's certainly much more rare than baseball. So I think I'm maybe a little biased because there's just so much, so less of the 70s football out there. You don't see it as much. Therefore, it's like, hey, this is a pretty cool design. Where 75, it's like, yep, there's another 75 baseball card. Where you don't say, it's like, 75. That's a cool design because you don't see it, in every box. Brian says, I may be winning your Pokemon lot, hoping to be the first to purchase Pokemon off your eBay store to ease low rollers' pain. Yeah, Pokemon. There's even a Pokemon lot. Don't forget tonight, eBay auctions ending, including a Pokemon lot, 99centcards.com. So I'll go live at 7 p.m. Central this evening, and we'll count down the final auctions. I think there's 40 or 50 auctions. These are non-sports and other sports. The hockey card, the Cup Mark Savard is only at like $1.25 this morning. So there's some steals to be had. Steals to be had. CL on the road. Good morning, and we'll circle back and we'll get to those auctions. Sports Section Plus back from Vegas. Came back with a ton of inventory from 702 cards. Nice. Johnny M asks, is that $12 of the Beau cards gross or net? That's gross. I don't want to do the math this morning. I haven't had my coffee yet. Speaking of coffee, I had to drink regular coffee, and I thought, man, this is only like the second time I've drank regular coffee in the last 4 months. But it really wasn't, because when we were in Europe, I had to drink regular coffee every day. So 2 weeks plus a couple days in the rest of the 4 months. So I'm waiting on my real Rise coffee from the actual company and not the knockoff shit from Amazon. So if you want mushroom coffee, don't buy it off Amazon. Mark says the New York media and fan bases are nothing but fair, right? Zach says, no, the previous lot with Broders. Oh, those were from a different purchase. Those were these bows were, I just got in the mail like Saturday. So this was an eBay auction win last week. So the Broders were from a Goodwill pallet. And actually, I will throw it in your face. I paid per card less than the Broders because those were part of a Goodwill pallet. Now, do I really know like the price per card? How many cards do I throw away? I don't do the math on it, but on a price per card basis, what's the math? So overall, let's see what I pay. Say 600 divided by 130,000 cards. About what? Is that half a penny? 0.001. Yeah, about a half a penny. But I throw away a lot of cards. So let's just say 2 or 3 cents a card, as opposed to 20 cents is what I paid for the recent batch. And the Broders had an upcharge because they're Broders. Who would have thought? Who would have thought 30 years later, Broders would be worth more than 1989 Pro Set? Like, those are fake cards. Mark says, that's why we moved to New Jersey. There you go. JG is here looking for some opinions. Won 5 auctions, slabs from the same seller. They refused to combine ship. Would be $35 to ship 5 slabs. Bought 3 of them very cheap, thinking of just paying for the 2. Thoughts? Don't do that. This is a slippery slope. What I'm going to say is not what I do. So I just want you to, I'm going to preface this. What I am about to say, I would certainly never do as a seller. However, this is a perfect example of buyer beware. You are on the hook. Because if it's not mentioned in the eBay listing that if there's no combined shipping information, you have to believe you are not getting, you can't assume they will combine your shipping. So if there's no mention in the listing, that's on you. If you have any questions about combined shipping, you have to message the seller. Hey, do you combine shipping? But be specific, because they say, yes, I will combine shipping. And then you get a bill and they only take $2 off. They were truthful. They combined your shipping. It may not. That's where communication is very vital in this situation. So when you're asking a seller if they combine shipping, be specific and ask, okay, if I win 5 auctions, what is your policy? If I win 5 auctions, what is my total shipping going to be? I would definitely not say don't pay, because then you will get a non-paid strike against your account. That is not good. And especially if you won 5 and you only want to pay for 2, you're going to get 3 strikes against you. That's very bad. You don't want that. So you're on the hook. Now you can leave negative feedback, but again, I would not, because I'm going to, this is on the buyer. This is on you. So I wouldn't leave negative feedback for this situation. And actually, and truthfully, eBay would probably remove a negative feedback in this instance, because the listing didn't say combined shipping, and you agreed to the terms of service. So this sucks. This situation sucks. But again, if you're buying multiple items from a seller, and if it's not spelled out in the listing, reach out. My auctions this week, or starting last week, had shipping. Unfortunately, eBay's not combining the shipping, and I don't think I have it listed. So if you have questions on it, so basically my listings, I think bubble mailer is $4.25, and then it's 25 cents after each item on that. The 99-cent PWE, again, 25 cents. And if it goes up to $4.25, it'll show even close. It doesn't even have to be $4.25. If it gets close to that, it'll ship in a bubble mailer, whatever your payment is, if it's $3.75, I'll ship it in a bubble mailer. So that's how my combined shipping works. But if you have any questions on combined shipping anywhere, you've got to reach out to the seller. If it's not spelled out, if it just says we combine shipping, well, that could just be like $35 to ship 5 slabs. They may still charge you $30. And if you think that's too much, I mean, you agreed to it. You agreed to their terms. They didn't spell it out. You didn't ask. So unfortunately, it is on the buyer in these circumstances. Now, as a seller, I would never do this. And I would strongly recommend sellers listening not to do this. But as buyers, we have to take responsibility. And I always, especially when I'm buying magazines, like wrestling magazines in the past, when I've bought, I've wanted to get 12 or 15 from a seller, and I've not bid on things because they're like, well, if you want 15, it's going to be $80 shipping. Whoa. I'm not, no. Okay, thank you. I'm not going to bid on your auctions. That's too much. So we've just got to be buyer beware, get communication, get it in written eBay message form, because then you can take it to, if they say, yeah, I'll charge you $10 and then they charge you $35, you have a case on eBay for, whatever, like, hey, they told me, and eBay can access your messages. And so yeah, unfortunately, you just got to eat it and take it as a lesson learned. Brian's in the house. Good morning. Cooter is here. What's happening? Brian Wolf is here. Good morning. Mikey has the Terry Bradshaw, Roger Staubach, OJ Simpson so far in PS8. So far, I'm going to get the rookies now. There's only 5. Fouts, Pearson, Mel Blount, Lynn Swan, Joe Theismann. Brian says, I've been putting off listing cards in my eBay store. I have over 50 available slots. I think I need to get listing. There you go. Get to it. Brian says at JG, I would pay it all in full and then honestly review the seller and then block them. There you go. And that's, Brian says it much more concise than I did. Sports card ripping teacher says, I wish I knew that silence of an empty kid house. Enjoy. Mikey says, the bulk deal that I bought made me want to pursue the 70s football sets, but especially fell in love with 75. It just really connected to me. Did any sets from the deal you bought connect to you? Whew, that's a tough one. I would say no. I think, no, I take that back. The 72-73 basketball, I am not a set builder though. So, but just from a nostalgia standpoint, and I went in, and the funny thing is, it was kind of all like, it was all circular here. My old neighbor, not Dick Wankett, Bill, baseball card Bill, lived across the street. He always had garage sales. He was a big baseball card collector, and had some great stuff. Always had cards for sale at his garage. Basically, his garage sales were all, it was basically his own little card show. And he always had awesome stuff. And me being a neighbor kid, he'd give me good deals. And I got into vintage as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, and loved the early 70s basketball cards. And he had a whole box of 72-73 Topps basketball cards. I think I probably paid like $20 for this whole big box. Now, as an 11-year-old kid, that was like 3 weeks allowance. But there was, like, now looking back, like there was a Phil Jackson rookie, there was a Bob Lanier rookie, there was no Dr. J rookie, but there was a lot of really good cards in there. It was a good deal. 72-73 Topps basketball. And right after he passed away this early this summer, actually like technically spring, late spring, but it was right around the time I first saw the advertisement for this estate sale that I went to. And what I noticed was the 72-73 basketball. I'm like, oh man, that takes me back. Bill just passed away. Maybe this is just meant to be. And maybe that's what drew me to go to that estate sale, because normally I don't think I would have went. But it's like, I'm interested in what this might have. So I think the 72-73 basketball connected to me just because of that personal connection to my childhood and just the timing. Bill had just passed away. I see these 72-73 basketball reminded me of that time, like, whoa. And it was well worth the trip. Zach says, Pearsall has survived as many gunshot wounds as Beau has survived e-bike rides. Man, he's been shot a lot. Philly Joe, when you say throwaway, do you actually throw them in the trash? Just asking, no judgment. Yes and no. Yes, I actually throw them away, not in the trash. I do recycle them. And it actually depends. Sometimes I do throw them in the trash. So yes, I actually do throw them away. I mean, we're talking, I don't think I have any examples to show, but I mean, we're talking like some of the Goodwill pallet stuff comes in like a trash bag, and it's like, there's been cards chewed up by dogs in the Goodwill pallet. There's been like Kool-Aid spilled on cards. I mean, you name it, I've seen it in a Goodwill pallet when it comes to what can happen to cards and how they can be damaged. I've seen it. So I probably do have a box that, let me go grab it, because I do kind of want to go through it. What's the path of least resistance? I think if I go this way. Forgot I moved stuff around in my card room. So sometimes cards in the Goodwill pallet literally come in diaper boxes. And they look like that. So here, just off the top, where did I see? I saw Phil Hughes I mean, this is creased. And this is a modern card from 2014. So I'm throwing that away. And I've had this is probably from like Goodwill pallet number 6. I've had that because back when I bought that pallet, I was still pulling even like creased, beat up Cubs cards counted towards my 1 million Cubs count. So I'm like, I'll save this for a rainy day. And then when I found a box that had a Terry Bradshaw rookie and a Gale Sayers and a Butkus from the 70s at the bottom of the box, I'm like, now I really need to check all of these boxes. So there's probably no Terry Bradshaw rookies in this box. It looks like it's junk wax. It's, 90 Bowman. This actually doesn't look just like one little corner ding, but just stuff like that. So I'll dump this out today, and I'll dump this out today. And if there's anything, I'm not going to do like a live video of it though, because it's going to be most likely it's going to be all junk wax era that's just beat to hell. Probably this entire box is going to get trashed. It is recycle week, so I'll probably just put all the cards back in it and throw the entire box in the recycle can. Brian says, Andre the Giant card I bought is from 82-83 BBM Puro Risu magazine, a Japanese magazine. Very cool. So I think the very first, is it just like a magazine card, I guess? The very first, I guess what they call the Andre the Giant rookie card is from a Japanese wrestling magazine, I think 1974. It's pretty cool. I've looked to see I've looked to see if the magazine is listed at like a cheap price, because I think the card sells for like $200. And I've just been looking to see if the magazine's listed for like 40. But usually the magazine is appropriately priced. Now, I'm not looking constantly, but every once in a while I'm like, I'm gonna do a search for that. JG says, good points, appreciate it, you bet. Says combined shipping, but seller is MIA. So this is another thing. He may combine your shipping. Has he responded to any? I guess first of all, we have to remember this was Labor Day weekend, so he may have been traveling. Not every eBay seller is doing this full time and constantly checking their eBay messages and all of that. So I don't know when you won these auctions, but give it some time, and he might respond. And by tomorrow morning, you may say, hey, he combined the shipping. I don't know. Did the listing say? I mean, it said combined shipping. So I like to err on the side of most sellers are good for their word. Yeah, we hear a lot of the bad stories, but 99% of the sellers are going to be on the up and up. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. YouTube didn't tell me Hobby Evolution was starting today. What the fuck, YouTube? Come on. I was actually on time this morning. We woke up. Me and Ernie woke up early. He did his little morning poop, his morning pee. I think my wife is excited to get back to the office because she was home all day with her. Well, we were both all home with him all day, but he didn't spend much time down here. He was terrorizing mom, and I'm like, see, this is like every day. This is like every day. So this is how it goes every day. This is what I do every day. Cooter didn't get a notice either. What the hell? Zach says, 125, please. Hall of Fame card collector Mikey says, I have a question. Does anyone know why the Ernie Holmes 328 is so expensive? I've never heard of him before. I don't know. Is that the Mohawk card? Is that Ernie Holmes with a Mohawk? I didn't know it was expensive either. Ernie Holmes. Larry Holmes was a boxer. 1975 tops. Ernie Holmes. He was on the Steelers. There's one on eBay. It's in poor condition though for $1.99. There's a PSA 8 listed for $315. I wonder, this would be a fun experiment if you just had money to piss away. I don't know. Maybe that's the cheapest PSA 8. You said you were looking for PSA 8s. $315. I wonder if you went through and bought like $200 worth of raw and submitted, and how many 8s you could get. I don't know. I wouldn't do that, but I'd like to see somebody do it just to see what the results might be. But I'm not gonna put my money where my mouth is. Unicorn Cupcakes in the house. Good morning. Philly Joe says, Hall of Fame, Ernie Holmes was the rock of the steel curtain. Mikey has auctions ending in his store. Brian says, I've heard no mention of Ernie. He must have been a good boy this weekend. He was okay. He gets fucking crazy eyes, man. And so we've been bell training him to go potty, and he's been really good. I think we're like 5 days accident free. So he rings the bell when he has to go potty. And so sometimes he will go up and he will ring the bell, and he rings it with his mouth, not his paw. And then and it dings, and then he just gets like, and he gets these crazy eyes, and he's like, it's like, oh my God, chill the fuck out. Good old crazy eyes, Ernie. Orlando's in the house. Good morning. John misses Bill. Hello, Mark. Mikey says, thank you for that information, Philly Joe. Didn't realize that. I'm talking 70s cards, John. You must be happy. John says, I'm staying at Hilton Union Square for the next 2 weeks, hoping to not get shot. Good luck. Stay safe. I decided PSA 8 because most aren't too expensive and they are pretty tough to get in that grade, I would figure, especially centered. Yeah, those 70s football cards, man. Kendall says, are those cards extra absorbent? They might be. Imagine someone seeing Beau walk into the house with a diaper box. I know, right? That'd be scary. Unicorn Cupcake says, that hurts to look at. Tell me about it. Vince says, if you left that box open at the end of your driveway, I bet LRC come by and pick them up. Yes. LRS? Yeah. I'm not sure LRS even collects cards, but I know he doesn't like paying taxes. He likes playing skill games. Mark Twitchell says, go Bears. It's NFL week, baby. Mikey says, I hope I'm not being annoying talking about 75 Tops football. Not at all. Not at all. Mark says, I know when I put together my 70 sets, the Raiders, Steelers, Dolphins, and Cowboys were always a bit harder to get. Absolutely. They're typically the fastest to sell. Mark says, Macomb VFW card show coming up in less than 2 weeks, Saturday, September 14th. I wish I could go there. I'm like skipping a bunch of stuff this month just because I've got so much shit going on. I haven't been to a Cubs game since April 5th when I threw out the first pitch. And I want to get back, but it's just my schedule's not jiving. A lot going on this month. It's also fucking tax month. So my business taxes are due at the end of the month. So every year it's like, man, I need to be more organized next year. And I'm not. So I've got a lot of that shit going on. So sucky. Mikey says, I'm going to list more cards in my store today. Definitely check it out. I enjoyed actually being able to watch Hobby Evolution live. I missed it so much. Welcome back. It's good to have you back. So I've got some auctions going on ending tonight. Delete that. There we go. Let's go here. Let's go to auctions ending soon. Let's share that screen. So don't forget tonight, auctions ending. They will, the first auction ends at 7:15 Central Time tonight. We'll go live here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central Time tonight, and we'll count down these non-sports and other sport auctions. New auctions will begin starting at 7:15 tonight. It's baseball week, so a lot of good baseball stuff going up for auction. I've got vintage baseball. I've got modern baseball. I've got some nice little surprises. So check out my auctions tonight, both ending and starting. So we've got a Coco Gauff Goodwin Champions Blue, only an opening bid. The Jaron Krabby autograph from James Bond 007, currently at $3.25. The Toby Miller snowboarding autograph, I thought this would get some action. It's only at 99 cents. We've got some NASCAR this week. Ryan Repko auto only has a bid at 99 cents. The Casey Kane Fire suit has a 99-cent bid. The Mills Lane is at $3.25. We've got one bid on the Justin Leonard dual relic, 99 cents. The Norman Rockwell relic is up to $5.04. The Kaz Gralla auto out of 49, 99-cent bid on that. The Michael Annett NASCAR auto of 300s at 99 cents. The Thad Moffitt, that's Richard Petty's grandson. Only one bid, 99 cents. We've got some Cryptozoic Walking Dead wardrobe relics. No bids on any of those. Let's see. We've got dual relic golf, Tom Lehman, Jerry Kelly. That one's numbered out of 200. No bids yet on that. Churchman's Gene Tunney boxing card, currently at $5.50. We've got the Goodwin Champions Joanna Jedrzejek, numbered out of 99. No bids yet there. No action on the MMA. The Thiago Santos fighter-worn relic out of 149 still doesn't have a bid. We do have some bids on the NASCAR car cover relics. Mark Martin's at $2. Ryan Newman's at $2.25, and Rusty Wallace is at $2.25. So surprised to see that action. This is probably the biggest surprise I have is the Chuck Liddell Topps Fire, numbered out of 142, is at $5.50. So I was happy to see that. Soccer card Andressa Alves, refractor numbered out of 125, doesn't have a bid. Another Churchman's, this is Max Schmeling, is at $325. The Spider-Man Golden Web insert is at $3. Here's an SI for kids. Jesse Owens, no bid. The Steve Aoki first pitch has a bid at 99 cents. A couple F1 cards don't have bids. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Here's the Pokemon lot. Brian said he's the high bidder so far. He's the only bidder. It's 10 cards. It looks like they're all foils. I don't know what any of them are, but it's 99 cents. Only 99 cents shipping on that lot as well. Here's the SI for kids lot. 100 cards. There's a Jeter in there. There's a Griffey. There's a Gretzky and a Shaq. You can look through the pictures to see what all it contains. 100 Sports Illustrated for kids cards, currently at $26.69. Here's one that I thought would have more action also. It's the Run for the Cup. Mark Savard, Boston Bruins, numbered out of 100. It's only at $1.25. Brianna Scurry, Allen and Ginter relic. She's a soccer player. No bids yet. The Austin Powers costume relic, an authentic piece from Gold Member, is only at 99 cents. Here's another one. This is about a $15 to $20 card. Georges St. Pierre UFC Chrome Refractor from 2018. Only has a bid of 99 cents. The Shannon Box Panini Americana Women's Soccer Relic is at $1.25. That one is numbered out of $199. Diego Maradona Soccer SI for Kids card from 1990. This is a $10 to $20 card. It's only at 99 cents. And the Willie Nelson Panini Golden Age Hindu Brownback Mini. This is a $10 to $15 card. It's at 99 cents. And then I don't think this one got any bids we did football last week. So the Gronkowski it was relisted. So you're saying, why is it ending on Saturday night? Because I don't do Saturday night auctions. Basically, so actually that must not have been paid for, because it would have been 4 days from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days. So it would have been the 4 days was up Saturday. So it relisted, and it does have a bid. Hopefully it's not the same person that didn't pay. So there's the auctions, 99centcards.com. Auctions ending tonight. New ones starting tonight. We're doing baseball starting tonight. Where we at? Porter's in the house. Good morning. August sucked for me. Worst sales month of the year. Wow. I woke yesterday to a 38 card order, then had a 92 card order last night. Wake me up when August ends. Wow. That's awesome. August was my best month to date. Net sales ran the numbers yesterday. Net sales, highest sales month of going full time, August 2024. And that's why I've got the Beau-Mentum going, and I'm just trying to build on that, keep it going, and keep doing things that worked in August and at the end of July. July was my fourth best month of the year. Actually, I guess it was fifth now because of August. But is that right? 5 out of 8. July was 5th out of 8. August 1st. Mikey says, I love auctions. I like being able to move stale inventory and the constant flow of sales. It is nice. This is something nice where it's like, okay. And some of the listings that I put up, I started listing some, scheduled some yesterday, last night. Some of them are semi-stale, where they've been in my eBay store, but they've been there for a week or two, which is kind of stale. I like to really burn through some of the inventory. So some of that stuff is going to be not stale. It's going to be it's not fresh, but it's not stale. But I do like the part where, especially the first auctions that I ran, a lot of that was stale inventory. A lot of it went for less than I had hoped for, but again, it'd been sitting in my store, some of the items up to 5 years. And it's like, well, I think it's time to go, even if it sells for 99 cents. So I may have some of that in this week's auctions, the baseball that I fire up. So it is nice. And the constant flow of sales is also good. Put up 50 to 100 auctions, and, many of the auctions have had bids. I think most of the auctions have high bids. Not everyone is paid, but usually a couple each week go unpaid, which I'm okay with because these auctions aren't like, it's not a 24-hour auction on a first day release. That's when I get really pissed off at non-payment. But if it's stale inventory, a 99-cent card or even a $5 card, okay. If they don't pay, it just is going to get relisted, and we'll see. So that is nice. I'll look at I look at my numbers, and it's like, okay, I know I'm going to get X amount on Tuesday nights, and when some of that sales will come in on Wednesday morning. So it is nice, the constant flow of sales also. Johnny M's the high bidder on the SI for kids. Stop shilling it. Hey, I think it's going to go for, I think you're going to get a great deal on it. Hopefully it doesn't sell for $26. That would be a steal. But I think it's going to go for less than I hope. I really want it to get to $50. I think that's kind of where I want it to settle, 50 cents a card. $50 is kind of where, if it comes in lower than $50, I'll be, a little disappointed. I think it's probably going to end up, if I'm going to predict where the SI for kids lot, 100 card lot, Jeter, Gretzky, Shaq, Griffey, I think it's going to come in like the $40 to $45 range. That's where I'm predicting it to end. It's at $26.69 right now. I'd like to hit it. I'd like to get it to 50, but I think in reality, it's probably going to end somewhere between 40 and 45. Brian says, eBay likes a wide range of sell type and sell price is my assumption. It rewards your impressions. And, that's a good point. And, I pretty much stick to cards. That's my bread and butter. But every once in a while, Pearl Jam posters, boom. I sold all 4 of the Pearl Jam posters that I bought Saturday after the concert. All 4 sold Sunday and Monday. An artist proof went up for the one that was sold out, went on sale for $100 each. Yesterday on the artist's website, I was able to get 2 of those. One of them sold for $400. So a nice little return on that. I haven't decided. I want to keep the other one because I wasn't able to get the poster, but it's like, man, I'm going to wait until I get it in hand. So that yesterday was a pre-sale on it. So I'll ship it when I get it. The second one, I'm going to decide basically when I get it in hand. I'll see where the pricing is at. If it's $250 or less, I'll keep it. But if it's, if I can get $300, $400 out of it when I get it in hand, I may put it up for sale. I don't know. We'll see when I get it. Haven't decided, but I did want to put one up and recoup that money that I paid. Mikey says, I don't get why eBay only gives me 500 free auction listings, though, with my $60 eBay store. That is how many I also have, 500. So Andy Mack says, shit, you got 400. I did. I saw one either listed or sold for 500. And I almost raised my price, but I'm like, I haven't had any offers on it yet. I had a bunch of watchers. And it sold last night. I think it was late. I think I was in bed. I think I was getting ready for bed. So it was like 9, 10 o'clock. It sold for 400 shipped. So I was happy with that. So that's what I had for today. I'm going to keep that Beau-Mentum rolling. I'm going to go through this diaper box of junk. And if I find anything, I will show it off tomorrow morning. I'll tweet it out as well. So if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. I did put some Pearl Jam videos on my YouTube channel, a couple of Eddie Vedder stories, one story about his taking his daughter to Wrigley Field for the first time, a great story that's had, I cannot believe the views on Twitter that this, and I think my views on YouTube are closing in on 1,000. The Twitter has 89,000 views on Twitter of Eddie Vedder sharing his story about meeting Walter Payton for the first time as a 12-year-old. And then the video on YouTube has like 800 views or more. So just crazy. Mark says he loved the Walter Payton story. It was like goosebumps, man. It was like a goosebump story. So that's what I had for today. 99centcards.com. That's my eBay store. Buy 7 or more cards at regular price. Save 25% off at checkout. That does only apply to buy it now. That does not apply to auctions. So again, that is buy it nows only. Auctions are ending tonight. Non-sports and other sports that we just went through, those auctions end tonight. I'll go live again tonight at 7 p.m. Central. We'll count down this week's auctions, and we'll give you a little preview of what's to come with the auctions that start tonight and next Tuesday, where the theme, baseball. And we've got vintage and modern alike. Orlando, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's what I had for today. Like, subscribe, visit my eBay store. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Central.